Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from SethMarkwood.com.
Together, the three of us, that's you and Boy and me, we are Markwood Ben's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again, and good morning, Boy.
Good morning, Homer.
Have you noticed my smoking jacket?
I mean, I see you're
Did you see I wore this last year, or last week?
Yes. I was there when you put it on.
Okay, so I bought this several years ago, and I wore it a couple times, but then I outgrew it very quickly. And I hadn't worn it, and so now it looks huge. It is huge. I'm happy for that, but I want to talk about something today.
Well, let's preview that. What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about our favorite belt
And axe throwing, and
we'll talk about axe throwing.
Yeah,
and we'll talk a little bit about weight loss, briefly,
and smoking jackets.
So let's start this off. I'm not doing so well on the weight loss. Over the last couple weeks, I've put on about 6 pounds, and for the last 2 days, I don't care, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And so the carb monster has been triggered, and I need an intervention.
In about 2 days of caring, you could knock out those 6 pounds pretty quick. Yeah, what you're gonna have to do to kill the carb monster is just go cold turkey, no carbs at all.
I know,
because you need to have it. Because you would not want that to stand between you and that new knee.
I know. Met a guy this week whose mom just had both of her knees done, and she had the exact same procedure I'm going to get, that partial replacements. And he said the first one, which was her worst knee, went super well. 6 months later, she had the other knee done, and that one didn't go so well. And he said just a matter of the recovery has been a bigger problem. I can imagine if you got a new knee, but you still have some pain or numbness in that leg, and then you get the other one done, that could be a challenge. But scheduled June 4th, I'm going to get my first knee done.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. But you're right, I can't gain the weight back. I would much rather this jacket not fit me than fit me.
I think something happens when you hear
you hit your goal.
We're gonna schedule the surgery. That means it's over. I can quit trying. It's not what that means. I know. And unfortunately, because the carb monster is so vicious, it means you can't ever let it stay alive for long, because you just go right back up. I know. All this hard work.
I know. Hey. My brain can think all this stuff through.
I was talking to a guy at the Big and Tall store the other day, and we were talking about weight loss. So for me, I've hit the 1 year mark on keto, and so in a year I lost 145 pounds. Gone down, pant sizes. So I went to buy some pants, and I grabbed the size I had last purchased, and then the next size down, because I thought, well, maybe I'm down there. I put those on, they're too big. So I had to go another size down. So I've now gone down from a 66 or 68 at my biggest to a 54. Bought some 54s yesterday, which is, I don't know the last time I was in pants that small, which I know that large. I've gone down 3 shirt sizes, and so we were talking about that. He was talking about he's tried to cut down some carbs.
Oh, you just reminded me. Oh, I got to send some shirts to some people.
Okay.
Oh, I posted a picture of the corner of my closet with all these Arista shirts I can't wear, and I told people I'd give them to them if they want them. And I did this while I was traveling a couple weeks ago. I had just got, oh my gosh.
Write a note. You're welcome.
If I owe you a shirt.
You're welcome.
Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so I was talking to the guy, and he was lamenting how hard it is. And, we were talking about how I totally get it that in your head what you need to do. And I don't know what it has been that has clicked this time. Why this time has been different, and I hope that it stays different. But it has been. You know, how many times have I tried to lose weight and failed, and I've just happened to find success. But it feels really, really great. I bought jeans the other day, which I haven't worn in probably 20 years. Well, no, probably 15 years at least. Allie said when she saw me walk up, she said, I haven't seen you in jeans since high school, and I didn't enjoy wearing them in high school. So,
have you enjoyed them now?
I mean, I've only worn them once for a day, but it was fine. They were weird. It's weird. So I'm not used to having clothes hold tight to my body in any way. I always have worn loose fitting clothes, which has been great.
Which is it's a fat man's
self-defense.
It is, and it doesn't do us any favors. No, but I mean, you feel when the clothes are holding on tight, it just shows off every nook and cranny and curl, and you don't want that. And so, but yeah, I mean, they felt beyond the weirdness. They felt pretty good, I guess. I needed something with all my work travel. I needed something that was more casual than my work pants, but less casual than my shorts that are hanging off of me and falling apart. And so I think jeans fits that medium place for work. So I don't know how much I'll wear them. I get so hot anyway, and having something clinging to me feels hot. But feels nice to have them. You said you hit 145 pounds on keto. You had lost weight prior to that when you were doing the potato diet and a few things before the keto kicked in. Because you're down more than 145 from your all-time high.
I'm down 155.
Yeah.
So I had lost 40 pounds and put 30 of it back on. I lost 40 pounds doing the potato diet and put 30 back on by the time I started keto. So that was probably 6 months. Right? I had gone down 40 pounds, and 6 months later put 30 of it back. And so I'm down now 145 from there. So 155 from my all-time high. So just last week I started on keto year 2. So we'll see what we can do. I've started working out at the gym, and I'm feeling great.
That's wonderful.
So get back on it.
I will. I mean, I crossed the 1 year point in January, and in fact, part of what prompted this memory was I saw a picture on Facebook from the trip that your mom and I took with Tim and Kim to Pennsylvania. And it was on that trip that I walked into a Walgreens store, and they had a clearance in their as seen on TV section of I don't know what they even call them, a zip belt, belt, zip tie belt. And I had already been losing weight, and I was getting tired of people noticing and commenting, because I'm again, a fat guy doesn't want to be told, hey, you're looking fat. And when you start losing weight, when people start complimenting you on your weight loss, it just draws attention to the fact that they were seeing you as you were, right? So
yeah, it's a terrible thing for people to see you as you are.
Yeah, exactly. And especially as you're losing weight and they're seeing that your belt is getting tightened up and you're running out of holes, right? And so I saw that they had this $20 basically zip tie belt that was on sale for $5, and I thought, I've wasted $5 on worse things. So I bought it and wore it for a day and went back to buy the rest of their inventory, and it was all gone. Somebody put it on eBay, no doubt. Anyway, so I wore that one, and what I didn't like about it was a bit narrower gauge than what I liked. It was more of a dress belt.
Okay.
So I went looking on Amazon and found one that I liked, and let me shows it to you. And Boy also bought one, but you bought a different brand.
Yeah, I don't even know what brand mine is. I bought mine from the Fat Man store.
Got it. Okay. So he's pulled up here.
That's
so you can see.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to see that unless I crop it and then
all right,
you don't like. Take it off.
I'll take it off. So there it is. It's off, which is super easy to take off, which is great. You're going through the airport, and that's enough belt buckle that's going to set off the alarm.
Yep.
And the way this one works is you slide it underneath and between the two layers there, and then you can hear it cinches. And you just lift up on that to remove it. You got about, I don't know, 8 inches or so of this, of these teeth, plastic teeth, a rack. And
ratcheting.
When
teeth.
this goes around you, it has to wind up somewhere within that range. Otherwise, it won't work.
Yeah.
And when you get them, they're usually too long. If you buy them right, you buy them where they start out being too long. And what you do on the back of this, it's got marks every inch, and it actually calls out the numbers. So way down here on this end, it's 28, then 30, 32, 34, and so on. And what you do is it comes without the buckle attached, normally. I need a smaller tool than that.
Yeah, I do see the problem you've got.
I got it. And you cut it where you want it. And you can cut it between those lines too. The lines are just a rough guess. But if you put the belt on first and you try it and you make sure that the little ratchet parts are lined up, you figure out where they're going to be about the center of the ratchet. That way, if you expand a little bit, you got it to expand. And then you cut it. And then this little fellow right here, and I don't have scissors here. I could cut this one again because right now it's too long, getting too long.
It's got teeth on the back end that dig into the back side of the belt. And then the ratcheting mechanism, there's just a little handle that comes up that as you lift on this, lowers down, allowing the belt to slip through just like a zip tie would work.
It's never come undone.
No.
I've been wearing this one for probably around 9 months because, again, I kind of proved the theory. I liked it, and then I finally started looking for them. About 9 months, and it's getting scuffed up enough that I decided to buy another one. And what did I do? I bought the exact same belt. So this is it. Got it from Amazon, and it was, I don't know, $17 maybe? Available in a bunch of different belt buckle styles and a couple different colors. And these are made of genuine leather.
Nice.
I don't know, whatever, people that are into leather know what there's a particular kind of leather, which is probably bonded. It's probably actually the particle board of leather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any problem with the leather on this thing. Pretty happy with it.
So, not too long into keto, I ran into the same problem. I don't mind having people say, hey, you losing weight, you're looking good. That doesn't bother me. It bothered me before I was confident I was going to keep going down. Because for a long time you have that doubt that, this probably isn't going to stick. So it's great that they notice, but that means they're going to notice when the pounds start coming back on too. Now that I feel more confident in a downward slope, I don't mind it. But I bought the same style of belt. Now mine is slightly different in that it's more of a traditional buckle. So it's got a front buckle here, and then instead of lifting up on the whole buckle face, there's a little lever back here that lets me lift the flap. One thing that I can do differently is mine latches differently here. And so it's actually easy to remove the back end. And so I can take off the buckle without having to take off my belt, which is perfect for traveling because I can leave my belt on, put this in my bag, and then boom, it's right back on without having to go through the rigmarole while also dealing with bags and things.
Yeah.
One thing that's really nice about them, this is my second belt. I had to buy 2 belts because the buckle face on this got dinged up. I would drop it and it started to chip and didn't look professional. But I have used the same leather belt. So I just swapped out the face. Bless you.
Excuse me. It is crazy pollen season right now in North Carolina.
One thing that I like about it, if you're considering one of these, is that it's really, really easy to make fine adjustments with it.
Yes.
So, because all you have to do to tighten it is you pull, or to loosen it is you just loosen. And so, you know, if you're walking through somewhere, you got a bag on, whatever, you need to tighten it down, you can do that. And then when you go to sit on the plane, you can loosen it so easy without having to lift up your shirt and do the, you know, look like you're taking your pants off dance.
Yeah, after a heavy meal.
Right.
I want to say that that's a joke. It's not a joke, and you can release it a little bit while you're sitting down, and then when you get up, you cinch it up, and you are good to go.
Well, and because of the way it's designed, you're able to loosen it in increments of 1/4 of an inch instead of a full inch,
right,
or whatever the distance is.
By the way, that belt is 52 inches untrimmed. So that'll give you an idea. You can't use that yet, but you're not too far away. Not too far away.
No, maybe. No.
I never thought that when I bought it, again, I thought, $5. I didn't think I was going to like it. I now own several of them, and I can highly recommend it. So a couple things to look or to watch out for. There's a bunch of them on Amazon, a number of different companies. The ones that I'm buying here, they list the various widths, right? So you want to keep an eye out for that. If you're wearing with blue jeans, you don't want to have a narrow, you know, dress suit looking belt. You might want a narrow one if you're dressing up for work. And make sure that it's long enough. And I'm certain that you can trim it down even further than the marks that are on it. So
yeah, there's nothing special about the marks, and
just makes it easy to cut.
Yeah. Yep.
But I played around with yours, not only when you got it, but also at a store one day, and I saw them on sale and was considering buying one. I don't like the button on it. It's that aspect of it seems a little too fidgety to me.
It was at the start, because at the start it's a little tight. And now that I've gotten used to it, it's super easy. It's super easy, and it's
barely an inconvenience.
Even more, no, even more. It's not our show. Even more stealth than having to pull the whole face up, because it's just a little button right there. Really easy. I mean, it's stupid. We're talking about belts. We're gushing about belts. It's really convenient. It's really nice. Like the people that came up with this idea were really smart to do it this way.
And I do have to say that one of my first concerns, because I didn't want to have all those holes there telegraphing my weight loss or gain, I also thought it might be weird that it didn't have holes. I've never had a single person draw attention to the fact that my belt has no holes in it. So, nothing to worry about. So, you did an activity this weekend. Did your pants stay up?
Yeah, they did.
Well, tell me about this.
They did. So there are popping up all over the country right now are axe throwing stations, axe throwing locations. And it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and for my birthday, I got a free coupon to go to an axe throwing venue.
Did I get you anything for your birthday?
I don't.
A washer, a dryer, and an
air conditioner. Yeah, thank you for those. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, boy.
Thank you. The dryer has an LED in it. I think it's pretty cool. You open it up and it lights up everything in the dryer.
Your dryer has a water hookup.
It does.
That's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, so I went axe throwing, not with this axe, but I thought it made for a fun visual. And so the place that we went, they gave us an axe about this size.
That's not an axe.
About this size. Each of us got to carry our own axe in a bag. They gave us a over the shoulder satchel, and this was an outdoor axe throwing course, most akin to skeet shooting. So we walked from target to target, and each target was slightly different. There were variations.
like sporting clays.
That's right.
Okay.
And so there were, you get opportunities to practice at each target. There were targets that were 12 feet, and so you get the 12 feet dialed in, and then the next one, there are rules. So you're now scoring Like the first one was just hit the target, land 1 out of 5 shots and you get points. And then the next one was, okay, get it within a certain circle on a traditional target and you get points. And then the next one was, now the targets are, there's a target here and here and here. And so they're not moving, but it's more difficult because you're not throwing for the center. And then the next one is now we're 15 feet away. And at 15 feet, it totally changes everything, because with axe throwing, a lot like knife throwing, the distance away you are from the target dictates the number of rotations it needs to throw. And at 12 feet, for most people, that's 1 single rotation. 15 feet is actually not far enough for a rotation and a half or 2 rotations. And so for most people, you need to go further back to about 18 feet. So we were having to step further back. And there was a target from 24 feet away. There were targets that were on a 45-degree slant, so you had to kind of lob it up. There was a target that was a log that was just floating in the air, and you had to throw to that. I mean, there were 11 targets in all. It was just a ton of fun. 2 hours of hiking and throwing axes and hanging out with some of my guy friends. And if there's a place like that near you, I would highly recommend.
So this was Kersey Valley?
It was Kersey Valley, yeah.
Kersey Valley.
So like I said, the indoor axe throwing places are popping up all over. There are several of them I know of now in North Carolina. Many of them have bars. You can drink and throw axes. Many of them...
Yeah, that one could never go wrong.
Some of them... Well, I mean, at those places, it's almost like bowling, right? So it's very controlled. You're in a lane. Usually there are 2 lanes side by side so you can compete. But beyond that, there's a wall. So between every section, there are walls, and it's pretty highly regulated from what I understand in those places. So they're popping up. Of course, immediately we're all, I've been on the axe throwing subreddit and seeing how to build my own targets, getting best practices with that. Some of the popular axes that people use, there's a Harbor Freight axe for $13 that a lot of people use.
The Gerber, one of the Gerber composite handle ones gets used a lot.
Yeah. It turns out there's an axe throwing league, and they have their own standards for how to do it. But I mean, for a $15 to $20 axe or hatchet and some wood, some 2x4s, you can make a target in your backyard if you've got the space. And so all of us that went said, yeah, I want to do that. And so I probably will have an axe throwing target in my backyard at some point, or one of my yards at some point. If there is one, I don't know if there is one nearby, but it would take some practice. It's one of those things, like many sports, bowling, and many like just for fun sports and activities, where there's a lot to it to be good. It's really easy to do, and it's also really hard to do. So when you're throwing it one-handed. When you're throwing an axe one-handed, it's really easy to throw like this. It's really easy so you have to keep your wrist straight, because if you throw like this, it's going to give weird rotation to it. So you keep your wrist straight.
Really?
Well, when you pull it back, it's easy to come at it at a side like this. And so for me, I found going 2 hands was easier, because it's easier to keep your wrists locked. Yeah. And it's easier to come at it straight. Lots of stuff like that. And then again, when you go to a 24-foot distance, it's completely different, because now it's doing 3 rotations.
Do the pros throw with one hand?
A lot of them do, but some of them throw 2-handed. And also it depends on the types of axe they're throwing, the weight of the axe, and all that stuff. So, it was super fun to do.
Sounds like you need to start a league.
There probably is one. And there's a place in Winston-Salem.
Sounds like you need to start a team to play in the league. That's how you do it.
That's it. Yeah.
And hold tryouts.
Then we'll have
whole tryouts like Mystery Men.
Yeah. Then we'll have a reason to practice. Our wives can't possibly can't possibly push back against that if we have a lead.
Got a big match tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. So that was fun. You can find some cool videos on YouTube. Some really impressive videos of people just nailing it, and then also some really scary videos of people playing. My mom sent me one today of somebody in one of those league stations threw the axe real hard, but threw it at the ground.
Ooh. And
it hit and bounced back. It almost hit her. It almost hit her.
Mm-mm. Did you see that Nathan had BG do that yesterday?
No.
They went to some event. It was a food truck event I think in Burlington or Greensboro, and somebody had a trailer that was an enclosed cage, and then on the back wall it had a wooden wall with 2 targets on it, and they were throwing $5, 5 throws.
Nice. So that's a nice little business.
I mean, yeah, you think you got the cost of a trailer and a couple axes that you probably have anyway,
or that you bought for $13 at Harbor Freight. Three players, you've made up that cost.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, hey, we'll wrap this up. I'm curious. Have you tried this? This sounds like something. If my rotator cuff didn't hate me as much as it does, that sounds like something I'd enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's why I didn't invite you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But hey, I could have been a target. I could have ran.
The expert that walked with us didn't seem like she would be up for that.
Okay.
We got our picture taken by the owners of the venue because they were looking for pictures for a local newspaper ad. They're running. They needed pictures of men playing during the day time, and so they kind of just trailed along with us, and it was neat. Got to talk to them about their strategy. I mean, they've only opened this up 5 weeks ago, and so it's a brand new thing for them. They have a lot of activities that they do at this place.
They do.
I thought it was a very, very smart branching out, because
this is a place. It was at one time a farm, and an interstate came and cut the farm in half, so they didn't have access to the other side of the interstate anymore, and so they had this small little area that to do something with, and so they started a corn maze initially. And then they started doing some Halloween themed things there. Did kind of the Spooky Woods thing. It's one of
the most well attended, largest Spooky Woods in the country.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a huge event.
And then they came up with a ropes course, to give them something to do during the summertime. They did a ropes course, and now they have escape rooms there.
Paintball.
It's incredible.
They do laser tag.
Smart.
They have a huge laser tag course. They've really diversified, and one of the things. They put up a indoor axe throwing area, but one of the things they realized about doing the outdoor is while you're walking outdoors, you're walking underneath the ropes course where people are having fun. You're walking past some of the other stations where people are having fun.
They're seeing you having fun.
They're seeing you have fun. So it's a really smart cross-promotional thing. So it was neat getting to talk to one of the owners about their strategy with that and some of their marketing strategy and business.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so highly recommend it.
Now, anyway, I'm curious, have you done that or any of those things we mentioned? Leave a comment below. We'll wrap us up. Make it a great week.
See ya.